I mean. Hey, we're live, I hope. You okay?
Just double checking. We are.
Yeah, we're definitely on. We're definitely on.
It took me a second to realise. We are a few minutes late.
Apologies, technical
We are a
problems.
few minutes late.
Welcome to the Snowflake Show. Let's get straight down to it.
Yes, I am your co-host Regan Elite.
And I'm Lee Cohn.
And over the next hour, we're going to run through what's been going on in the world of politics, and we share some funny bones and some good, warm-hearted stories.
Another quiet week again. You know,
it's been the quietest of quiet weeks this week. It has been manic.
Especially today. Nothing.
Yeah, last couple of hours, guys, it has been proper quiet, like tumbleweed quiet, as you guys, I'm sure, are well aware.
Should we have a look at...
sorry, Jesus is just saying that we're echoing.
Oh, right, okay. Let me try to fix that then. Is it that one?
Just give that 1 second.
Is that any better?
1 second, guys.
Is that any better now?
You just let us know if the echo's gone, guys. Would be much appreciated. So
before we start.
Yeah, because I know how important.
Is it still echoing?
Still an echo. Give us one moment, guys.
Perfect. Right, there we go.
Thank you, Ginger. Thank you, Gingers. Thank you, All Short.
And All Shots. I had Lefty Boater as well. Evening. Shall we have a look at the news then?
Yes.
Okay.
But first, the news.
Can you hear that, by the way? Just while we're talking. Could you hear the music?
Not without watching it from the video feed. No.
All right. Okay. It doesn't matter. Right. Okay.
It's okay.
So, what's been happening then? Oh my God! What's gone there?
Pandemonium is what's been happening.
Yeah, something's. Oh, hang on, something's gone wrong. Typical. GB News time.
Oh no!
Let me try and fix that. I don't know why that's.
Oh God! What's going on? This is GB News. Poor quality. Oh.
Just fill for a minute.
Just fill for a minute.
Oh, there we go. Hang on. Why is that so big? That's not meant to be that big, but yeah. Hang on.
Hello, number 3. Hello, Ben Shores. Good to see you guys. Hope you're all well.
There we go.
It's been an eventful evening. We will cover it, of course, as I said on Twitter.
Shall I have a look at this video then?
All right then.
The main news story, obviously, is Suella Braverman quitting.
Just drop a message if you guys can't hear the video, by the way, as well.
We've had a lot of audio issues today, so.
So we've got a little bit more that starts to shed some light. This is not a resignation on a matter of principle. This is a resignation on an honest mistake. Here's what I understand happened. There was an incident. I don't know what the incident was, but the incident involved Suella Braverman sharing secure information that she shouldn't do on a private phone. And I understand that is one of 2 reasons that she has gone, and I don't have for you the second one. But the one of 2 reasons that Suella Braverman has departed government is she effectively broke the security rules of government. I tell you, it's not a national security
where's the video
issue,
gone?
This.
It is,
however, there are lots of different classifications of government material.
There we go.
What's going on today?
I think it was me typing in the text.
And she shared secure information on a private phone in a way that she shouldn't have done, and she is out. Now, I think lots of people's heads are spinning at this point. I mean, there's been a lot of information that's often shared on private mobile phones that is security related, not least when it's leaked to journalists. So I think there's going to be quite a lot of questions asked about exactly how this all came about and why this was a trigger. And as I say, that is, I am told, is one of 2 reasons that she is going. And I do not have for you the second reason. But it is clear that she is out of government because there was a specific incident rather than a resignation on a point of principle, that there was secure information that was shared on a private phone. And I am being told that this was an honest mistake and Suella Braverman is now out of government. But there will be just so many questions arising, even from that limited amount of information that I've just been given, the limited amount of information I've been able to share from you. Why was this considered so sensitive? Is there precedent for it? If it was an honest mistake, why did she have to go? Is it because she's Home Secretary, so you cannot brook any kind of error in that field? But then, there's absolutely inescapable that we're in the middle of a massive, massive political crisis, and Liz Truss has just lost the second member of her cabinet, a high, one of the in the top offices of state in the space of 5 days.
Yeah. Yeah, so do we reckon that's... Well, let's have a look at the chat, what people are saying in the chat. Ginger's Giraffe, do you really think that we're going... Do they really think we're going to believe that explanation? And All Short says, nope, Gingers. I think that's probably right.
This is my 2 cents on it. Obviously, we've been trying to get to grips around it, both of us, this Suella Braverman story. Obviously, we don't obviously know the full stories. We have a article from the Guardian. We'll cover a bit off in just a moment. They say it's exclusive, but we'll see anyway. But I think a part of me thinks this is done on purpose from Suella, because as you guys may or may not have known, Suella Braverman has been kind of not been allowed in certain security meetings. She's been pushed out of them, so she's not even been able to kind of fulfill her job anyway. Because she's so right wing, so off the scale sort of thing. They just can't trust her with such important matters. So it would not surprise me one bit if they've kind of pushed her out the door, because they already know. And obviously she's clashed with Jeremy Hunt, because obviously Jeremy Hunt is basically saying, because he's basically acting like the Prime Minister now, he's basically saying, like, we've got to basically make difficult decisions. We've got to make cuts and all this kind of stuff. And obviously Suella Braverman doesn't want more immigrants coming in, and obviously considering Suella Braverman is also the one that screwed up a potential trade deal with India, if you guys remember that as well. So there's obviously been clashing of heads there, so it would not surprise me one bit whatsoever from there. And I think Braverman's basically been told to tone it down, and obviously she doesn't want to tone it down, and she's basically in a impossible situation, because obviously she can't fulfill her job, because the PM is under the thumb of the Chancellor and certain cabinet ministers. And I think personally, Lee, she done this. She did that email thing on purpose to be out as a scapegoat, as of getting out of her role, rather than just resigning faithfully. That's what I think. What do you think?
I think she's probably trying to progress her, get out so she can, not do too much damage to her political career. But I mean, she's a lunatic. I don't think, I don't think she fits into the traditional Conservative Party, maybe UKIP, BNP, something like that. I mean, she's a lunatic. She's obsessed with immigrants. If you read a resignation letter, she just like immigrants mentioned in at least 3 different paragraphs. And in one sentence, she mentioned 3 times in one sentence. But she's obviously thinking that she can, if she gets out now before it collapses, before Liz Truss kicks out, and then she will be kicked out, and maybe she's thinking it'll do less damage, but I don't know.
Shall we just cover?
Just say hi to people in the chat, because we missed a few people earlier on, because people joined in. Ben Shaw, hi Ben. Number 3 is here. Hello everyone, be gentle with me please. You okay? Number 3, you all right? You're safe here?
You're good. You're good. Number 3.
Lefty Boater is here. I think we mentioned it before. All Short says some
ran out of beer.
Who's run out of beer?
You need to get more beer.
Need more beer. So no Telegraph Rwanda plane front page then. No. Well, she can she can still dream. She can go home and dream at home. Living a dream. Will Suella have more time for that religious cult? Yes. Yeah, and she's some sort of Buddhist cult that she's part of. I don't know. Weird.
Quite crazy how quickly she's moved up the ranking into a Home Secretary role, but it's just absolutely insane. Do you want to bring up the article from the Guardian?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit behind you, so.
Do you want me to scroll it up then?
I can, yeah. So I'll have to. Right. So obviously the headline, Suella Braverman's been forced to resign as UK Home Secretary. Suella Braverman's been forced to resign as UK Home Secretary, throwing Liz Truss's premiership into further chaos and angering the Tory right. The Guardian was first to reveal that Braverman was departing, and that Graham Sharps, the former Transport Secretary, and he was very sharp at that job.
Graham Sharps, yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
He was a guy. Sorry, just he was a guy who hired a ferry company that had no ferries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's the guy that sat on his backside while train strikes carried on as well. So, he strongly backed Rishi Sunak in the Conservative leadership shape was replacing her. Braverman, a leading right winger, was sacked by the Prime Minister because she sent an official document from a personal email to a fellow MP in a serious breach of ministerial rules. The draft written statement on migration was deemed highly sensitive because it relates to immigration rules, which potentially have major implications for market-sensitive growth forecasts on the office of budget. However, Braverman's departure is a further series of blows to trust authority, coming as a growing number of Tory MPs, including her net zero targets, threatened to rebel in a fracking vote. She U-turned once again on the triple pensions lock, and she suffered a mauling from Keir Starmer at Prime Minister's questions. Sharp's appointment raises eyebrows in Westminster as he is believed to be involved in attempts to get rid of the Prime Minister. It comes 2 days after he told the Matt Ford's podcast that he thought Truss was unlikely to survive and that she needed to thread the eye of the needle with the lights off. It's that difficult, he said. Braverman, in a brutal resignation letter, contrasts her actions with those of Truss, wrote, pretending we haven't made mistakes, carrying on as if everyone can't see what we have made them, hoping that things will magically come right is not serious politics. I have made a mistake. I have accepted responsibility. I resign. It is obvious to everyone that we are going through turbulent times. I have concerns about the direction of this government. Not only have we broken key pledges that were promised to our voters, but I have serious concerns about this government's commitment to honouring manifesto commitments. In her I can't say that bloody
perfunctory.
Thank you. Reply. Truss told her former Home Secretary, I accept your resignation and respect the decision you have made. So, yeah, Lee, it's pretty crazy.
Oh, they haven't put the whole letter in there, have they? No. So, yeah.
I'm just having a look. So the security breach also met with raised eyebrows from one of Braverman's backers, Steve Baker, who also co-led her leadership campaign, is now a Northern Ireland minister, said the use of the personal email had only been technicality, a breach of rules, and that such a liaison with other MPs on policy was perfectly normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Lee? I mean, just by reading that from the Guardian, I mean,
like I say, I don't think. Well, I mean, let's look at her history. So, basically, she was a junior QC, and she got put into the role of Attorney General because they sacked the previous guy, or he quit. Did he quit? I think he quit.
Something like that, yes.
So Boris Johnson needed someone. He just basically needed an MP who was a lawyer. So he just employed her, and she had no real experience for it, and some of the things that she wanted to do were illegal, even though she claimed they weren't. And yeah, it was a prime example of being promoted above your competence. And then into Home Secretary, I mean, she was like, I suppose she's like Priti Patel plus. Do you know what I mean? She's like, if you take Priti Patel and make her even more racist and xenophobic and horrible, that's what you've got. That's what you get.
I talked about this before about how those of colour, for them to get.
Well, immigrants. Well, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Go on. Yeah. Children or immigrants. Yeah.
But yeah, black and brown people obviously treated it a little. Well, I don't want to say treated differently. Maybe that's the wrong word, but obviously seen differently, shall we say, in the Conservative Party. Let's put it that way. I think that's a better way to phrase it.
Well, we know there are racists in the Conservative Party. It's not, unknown.
Yeah, there is that allegation. We don't know that for sure, but allegation, shall we say? Because obviously Rishi Sunak, obviously most people believe now that he was the right person who should have taken that job in the first place, and he would have been probably the best chance the Conservatives have at the next general election of holding on to power.
Sorry, who's that? Who's that? I missed what you said.
Rishi Sunak.
Rishi Sunak, you're right.
Yeah, Rishi Sunak went in the leadership contest. Sorry,
yeah,
I'm ahead of myself there, but
well, you think he would have been better than Liz Truss? He probably would have. He probably would have done better. That he wouldn't have crashed the economy straight away.
From the party's point of view, and I think from the public's point of view, from the national interest, yes. But obviously, none of us want Conservative right now. But
no.
We certainly would not be as bad as we are now if Rishi Sunak had taken over.
No, and he warned exactly what he warned this would happen. Exactly what the things that she wanted to do in the hustings. Because let's be honest, she told everybody what she wanted to do in the hustings. She told the Conservatives, and they're all broadcast on TV. So the Conservatives knew what they wanted, the members, and Rishi Sunak told them what would happen if they did it. So. But they just ignored him and went on with it, and this is the result. I mean, this whole, it's like watching government collapsing. Well, it's not. I don't even slow motion. It's just literally eating
drama.
itself from the inside.
Drama.
Yeah,
it's playing with people's lives.
Yeah, and livelihoods as well. The damage that's been done isn't going to be easily reversible. This is going to be cause long-term damage. When the interest rate's going to start dropping back down again. Don't even know when that's gonna. That could be like decades away. Yeah. Who knows how long that could be? How long is inflation going to keep rising? Yeah. We don't know.
We do have we'll show it after our next story. But we have a very good video from a Conservative MP that's gone viral on Twitter with kind of summing it up what's going on with their party. But we'll share that with you guys very shortly.
Yeah, just say hi to Conservatives who's joined us as well.
Hello, Conservator, Lefty Boater. If I didn't say hello, guys.
Sorry, we had the echo. It's all as if there's echo again. Sorry, we had to change a lot of audio settings, and it's kind of messed up a bit. So I'm still playing with it. Allshot says she was struck off in New York. Is that true? Right, that's interesting.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. So says, geez, I'm overloaded by my social media feeds. I almost missed a snowflake. I don't miss a snowflake stream. Most important thing. Maybe anti-growth show would be a good name. Yeah, we can be the anti-growth coalition show, the AGC show.
Well, we need to stop growing subscribers, to be the anti-growth coalition.
A dead rat would be better than Truss, says Conservator. Welcome to the wokerati. That's us. Yep, we are the wokerati. Snowflake tofu eating wokerati. Conservator says, evening, Chief. Oh, sorry, Lefty Voter saying that's a Conservator. Ginger Joss, I'm still cheering on lettuce. Yeah, we haven't checked that. We'll have to check that. We'll check that in a bit. Lettuce.
We'll have to. If we get, we might make time to check on. If we got a chance, we'll go straight to the lettuce and see
lettuce cam and
lettuce cam. Let us watch. And,
let's watch.
You guys.
We were going to do that, weren't we? Yeah.
But we're going to go from one chaotic story to another chaotic story. If you guys haven't been aware, just give Lee a chance to bring it up.
Yeah, Daily Blaze's on board. Good evening, all from the Anti-Growth Coalition West Yorkshire branch. Hope everyone is well. Number 3 says, I prefer the Anti-Growth Alliance.
I like that name as well. Both are very good, to be fair.
Yeah.
Hope you're well, Belly Blase.
Right. Do you want to do this one, or shall I do it?
You could go through this one. Do you want to play the little clip from Jacob Rees-Mogg as well?
Or is it on this at first? Is it on
it? It is on this if you want to play it.
Let me find it.
I can totally understand if you and the viewers do not want to hear a voice of the 1900 band, but
let's listen.
I've not watched the video.
Unfolding incredibly quickly. Here's Jacob Rees-Mogg. It was your issue that was being debated tonight. You're sort of in the lead on this. First of all, Is the Chief Whip, Wendy Morton, still in post?
I'm not entirely clear on what the situation is with the Chief Whip. There has been an element of confusion over whether the vote was a confidence vote or not, and that is a matter that is now being settled, clearly. But the government won it very comfortably, whether it was a confidence vote or not. Should
Wendy Morton be in office, yes or no?
Well, if you look at the result today, on a controversial issue where it was thought that the government may face a significant rebellion, the government won with a majority of 90. I thought the whips, who I was working very closely with today, worked extremely hard to provide a very good result for the government.
Yeah. So, shall I read this then?
Yeah. Do you want to just confirm the story? I think you confirmed just before we went live that the Chief Whip had left his post.
That was reports.
Still reports, so it's not been confirmed as far as we're aware. If you guys see it on social media, let us know in the chat, by the way, because it hasn't been confirmed to us. But Lee, I'll let you continue.
Yeah. So chaos among Tory MPs as Labour motion to force vote on fracking bill is defeated. Politicians have complained Conservative MPs were being manhandled and bullied into voting with the government to oppose a ban on fracking, counter to what the party's manifesto said in 2019. What was interesting, before I explained that there's William Ragg, who's the MP for Hazel Grove, which is the next constituency to where I live. He basically stood up and did this long speech about different things. But he basically said that he didn't believe in fracking, didn't agree with it, but because he's a member of the 1922 committee, and because he wants to have he's already put his letter into the 1922 committee, and he's also on a Commons select committee as well. He doesn't want to lose the Tory party whip. So
yes,
in order
I've seen
to
the video, I've recorded this video.
So in order to keep that, he basically would have to vote with the government. And somebody on the Labour side wanted a point of order to say, well, the rules of the House are that this person, if you should vote with your conscience, not and the Speaker's assistant, deputy, whatever, said, well, it wasn't a point of order, and it's down to MPs to decide what they vote for and what they don't vote for. So so there's basically MPs were being forced into it because of a 3-line whip, so they had no choice unless they wanted. I mean, it would have been interesting if a lot of say 40 MPs, Tory MPs, had gone against it, because they would suddenly take 40 off that majority if they were all suddenly not Tory MPs. So that would have been interesting, but. Anyway.
Yeah, do you want to read the rest of the article? Because I think it's really important. I feel that because there's a lot more detail in there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so a Labour motion that would have forced a vote on a bill to ban fracking has been defeated amid farcical scenes in the House of Commons. Politicians have claimed Conservative MPs were manhandled and bullied into voting with the government to oppose a ban, counter to what their party manifesto said in 2019. Conservative whips initially stated the vote on whether to allocate Commons time to consider legislation to stop shale gas extraction was being treated as a confidence motion in Liz Truss's embattled government. But after a series of Tory MPs signalled they would not take part in the vote, Climate Minister Graham Stewart caused confusion by telling the Commons, quite clearly this is not a confidence vote. In an extraordinary turn of events, there are now suggestions that the Chief Whip, Wendy Morton, has resigned, according to Beth Rigby from Sky. Meanwhile, the division list showed 40 Conservative MPs did not take part in the fracking vote at all, including Prime Minister Liz Truss. That's interesting. She probably just couldn't be bothered turning up. It's not clear why the PM did not vote.
Their own confidence vote.
Yeah, no votes were recorded for several senior Tories, including Boris Johnson. Well, he's just on holiday, isn't he? Nadine Dorries, David Davis, Greg Clark, Ian Duncan-Smith, Kwasi Kwarteng, Theresa May, Wendy Morton, Alok Sharma, Priti Patel and Ben Wallace. I mean, that's like half the the last cabinet, isn't it? That
yeah,
so...
it is. It's pretty much the whole previous cabinet that were kind of like staying away.
Just keeping well away from it.
Staying away from the fracking, wasn't it? Were they against fracking back then?
Yeah, well, yeah, but Boris Johnson's basically said he was against fracking, and they basically said they weren't going to bring it back, and it was going to be banned. So
just before cover any more, just a quick comment there from Allshort saying the Speaker Lindsay Hoyle is waiting for a report from In Your Lang about what happened in the lobbies, but it's understood to be taken very seriously. He's seen the Chris Bright photo.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Is there
if you keep reading, it'll be it's in the article.
Oh, okay. Right, okay, let's go back to this then. So it's not entirely clear if the chief whip is still in post, says Jacob Rees-Mogg, business secretary. When he was asked, Mr. Rees-Mogg also played down allegations made by Labour MP Chris Bryant that some Conservative MPs shouted at and manhandled others in the voting lobbies to get them to vote with the government. He said he did not see any bullying or physical contact beyond a female affectionately patting someone on the back, though one member used an expletive. And he suggested that a junior official in Downing Street erroneously said Labour's fracking motion was no longer a confidence vote, leading to it subsequently being said by Mr. Stewart in the Commons. Sorry. Oh, do you want to watch this? Is this Chris Bryant?
Let me just read a little bit more.
Okay.
I'll read them. Describing the chaotic scenes, Labour's Chris Bryant told Sky News that one Conservative MP, Alexander Scafell, was manhandled and bullied. He said there were a bunch of Conservative members who were completely uncertain about whether they were allowed to vote with the Labour motion because of what had been said in the chamber about whether it was a free vote or a confidence vote. There was a group, including several cabinet ministers, who were basically shouting at them. At least one member was physically pulled through the door into the voting lobby. He claimed Jacob Rees-Mogg, the business secretary, and Theresa Coffey, the deputy prime minister, were among the group that moved forward with one member into the voting lobby. Mr. Stafford, who had previously spoken out against fracking, tweeted earlier today that he had met with Jacob Rees-Mogg and got a cast iron guarantee from the business secretary that for the first time ever, local people would be able to decide whether they want fracking. Mr. Bright had said the behaviour he seen in the lobby tonight was completely out of order and he'd never seen anything like it. He took a photo of the moment and he will be handing it for the chief whip as evidence. And as Allshaw's just put in the comments, obviously it's been handed, the speaker has seen it. What is not fine is shouting in the division lobby, aggressively pointing and physically pushing, he said. 230 MPs voted in favour of the motion, while 326 were against it, a government majority of 96.
I think you got a slightly different version of it from my. It's slightly different, but most of it's the same. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to just show that video?
Yeah. So go back to Chris Bryant.
With Chris Bryant. Yeah, I think.
I would urge you to launch an investigation into the scenes outside the entrance to the no lobby earlier. As you know, members are expected to be able to vote without fear or favour.
Yes.
And the behaviour code, which is agreed by the whole of the House, says that there shall never be bullying or harassment of members. I saw members being physically manhandled into another lobby and being bullied.
While crying.
If we want to stand up against bullying in this House of our staff, we have to stop bullying in this chamber as well, don't we? There was a bunch of Conservative members who were obviously completely uncertain whether they were allowed to vote with the Labour motion or against it because of what had been said in the chamber about whether it's a free vote or a confidence vote. And there was a group, including several cabinet ministers, who were basically shouting at them, and at least one member was physically pulled through the door into the voting lobby. Now, that is completely out of order in our system. We are meant to be able to vote without fear or favour. Of course, the whips try to persuade you of things. They have lots of different means of doing it at different, normally it happens long before you get to a vote. But I have never, ever seen an individual member physically manhandled into a division lobby. I mean, I know that Theresa Coffey was in the group, and I know that Jacob Rees-Mogg was in the group, and there were others as well. But they were, and the group all moved forward with the one member, and that person was, to my mind anyway, I mean, he will have to speak for himself. But
who is it?
Alex Stafford. He was, to my mind, physically manhandled into the lobby. And before that, there was a whole load of doing like this, very aggressive. I've been an MP for 21 years. I've never seen that.
Yeah, I mean,
Jesus.
What's his name? William Ragg. Just going back to him, he was one of the people who was talking about whips bullying people several months ago. So nothing much has changed by the looks of it.
Yeah, absolutely shocking. Wow.
Should we have a look at this? Go on, carry on what you're going to say.
I was just going to say, like, it's just it's not just the physicality. They were toying with those MPs over this bill. Like they didn't know whether they were allowed to vote in confidence or were being whipped to, or they didn't know. They were being all thrown all over the place. And this is completely out of order. Absolutely disgusting. There was the Prime Minister, nowhere to be seen, and these cabinet ministers pushing them and forcing them into voting for something that they don't want to do. Like, it's despicable. It's absolutely despicable, mate. And I think the next video we're about to show is going to just highlight just how punched up things really are, aren't they, Lee?
Yeah, I did have a screenshot of the whip. No, it's not that. I did have a screenshot of it, but I can't find it now. Of what the letter that the whip sent out to the MPs. But it basically said this is a 3-line whip. It's a test of confidence in the government. But it was vague enough that it felt threatening without actually being literally threatening. But he did say basically it's a 3-line whip. You'll lose the whip if you don't vote against it. If you vote against it, so yeah, let's have a look at this one then.
Yeah, we literally just got this video just before we came live as well.
Oh, it's not playing now. In a sec.
Perfectly honest, this whole affair is inexcusable. It is a pitiful reflection on the Conservative Parliamentary Party at every level. And it reflects really badly, obviously, on the government of the day.
Do you think there's any coming back from this?
I don't think so. But I haven't. I have to say I've been of that view really since two weeks ago. This is an absolute disgrace. As a Tory MP of 17 years, who's never been a minister, who's got on with it loyally most of the time, I think it's a shambles and a disgrace. I think it is utterly appalling.
So you seem quietly...
I'm livid. And, you know, I really shouldn't say this, but I hope all those people that put Liz Truss in number 10, I hope it was worth it. I hope it was worth it for the ministerial red box. I hope it was worth it to sit round the cabinet table, because the damage they have done to our party is extraordinary.
I'm sorry, it's very difficult to convey. You look just furious about this.
I am. I've had enough. I've had enough of talentless people putting their tick in the right box, not because it's in the national interest, but because it's in their own personal interest to achieve ministerial position. And I know I speak for hundreds of backbenchers who right now are worrying for their constituents all the time, but now worrying about their own personal circumstances, because there is nothing as an ex-MP. And a lot of my colleagues are wondering, as many of their constituents are wondering, how they're going to pay their mortgages if this all comes to an end soon.
Yeah, all shots. Yeah, I was literally thinking, he's using all shots line, but they're ticking the wrong box. But they're X in the wrong box. But yeah, livid.
So powerful.
Yeah,
so powerful.
This was from Tom Swarbrick, so it's on my phone. But I'll read it out to you. Interesting tidbit from Rory Stewart. He says a Tory MP got in touch to say that MPs are actively already looking for jobs outside Westminster. We don't want to be MPs anymore. Maybe the desire to hold on to their seats at a general election isn't all that strong. So yeah, they've all kind of, they see the writing on the wall. They've probably had enough of being bullied by whips and, you know, getting grief off the constituents. And they just think, I can just go back into that cushy city job or, you know, consultancy job. Do that without all the aggro. Being hassled by the police, by protesters outside and all these different things. They probably thought, not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as he said there, he's been a Conservative MP for how many years did he say? 45 years? Or the Mike's? A long time, basically.
A long time, yeah.
and he's never been in the cabinet positions, which is quite bizarre because you think someone that loyal, and then people who have barely been in the party that long get jumped right in front of them and absolutely crashed it. I couldn't agree more with what this man was saying. Like he couldn't be more against what conservative values are to him.
Traditional conservative values, yeah,
traditional conservative values. It's pretty disgraceful. Number 3, I will send a link to you via Twitter. I'll send a link to you via Twitter after the show. I'll do that for you. Okay.
Pumps has joined us. Hi, Pumps. I've had enough of talentless people. Whoa, what the F happened there? Tory MP expressing the thoughts of the common people. Yeah. I mean, I think the thing is as well is that what they're looking at is, especially if you're in a red wall seat or if you're in Somerset or any of these big swathes of the country, like across the north and across the south and the west, southwest, that have been earmarked as potential fracking sites. And they basically now opened that up to allow, if you're a constituency, a Tory constituency MP in any of those areas that get a fracking licence and they start fracking, then you might as well just hand in it, not just walk away now, because there's no way you're going to get the Tories will get voted in those seats. They'll probably end up with Lib Dem members maybe, but and so it's like a suicide note, really. It's like it's like turkeys voting for Christmas.
I can't remember now who it was that basically got the cast iron vote thing from Jacob Rees-Mogg, but it's basically essentially his word. It's not a guarantee; it's his word, and you can't trust his word. He's lied before. Like, that's not good enough. You need it enshrined in law, and I'm very glad that Labour put this motion to them. I'm disappointed that it didn't go through. But what it done is it forced more dirty laundry out into the public of how messed up this Conservative Party is, because these MPs they're all over the place right now, and these are just like I don't want to come across the wrong way, but there are some Conservative MPs who generally care about their constituents. Not many, but there are some, and they're being thrown under a bus. They're being thrown under a bus. And obviously the vast majority of them just care about keeping their jobs at the end of the day. But there are some who have been there for a long time and generally do care about their constituents, and it's it's the general public who are picking up the tab again.
Well, it'll be us who pay for it, one way or another. Right. So after all that, should we have a look at I think we should. I
think we need to go on a bit of a lighter note after all that. It's going to take a lot to sink in, obviously, what we've gone through. But
we'll see what happens on the next few days, because this could just be the beginning of it. It could get worse over the next few days.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, obviously, there's we're a bit fortunate that for us that it's come at this time, but obviously it's not good for the British public. Obviously, the chaos continues. We need a general election now, Lee.
Yeah, we do.
Not yesterday, not 2 years. We need it now.
No. Right. So this is from Wee Scott's Doug. Yeah, our resident bard from Scotland, with a little ditty this time. So let's have a listen to this.
Hello, it's a Wee Scots Dog here, again. Now, today I'm going to render for you a famous classic, Putin's Con Valise. It was written by self-serving Berlin, and it starred a famous tap dancer called Dread Astaire. Here goes. Ruff, 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 ruff. Have you seen how well the few from Scots are going to do? Inequality's laid bare, non-doms cozy, they don't care. Swy chaps, scam tarot scholars, pounds down against the dollar, trending Tory slime, tax evasion's fair crime. Now if you're new and you've no clue just what to do, why don't you go cheer fascist gits, grouping von the rich, With friends hide to wear away, Hope, Rand, Smith, Hype, and Katsumi's voters red blitzed. Looting on the Brits. Dressed up $500 blooper. Trust tries hard to look like Larry's Jupiter. Stupid trooper. Scum get tricked, where shocker shell, where crock for kicks, or dumber feathers spin their pricks. Hooting on their tits.
Oh, Doug.
He's not here tonight, is he? He's usually on the stream.
Doug.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Why are you not here? Oh,
Kendra's
I love
here.
this. Kendra's like, this is the chat is funny. All Schultz says, I went for a period, I returned to this. Does it end? Help. And I said, no, it goes on forever. Kendra says, hello, what's going on here?
God.
Just a wee Scott dog with a wee lovely poem. A bit different to what he's normally done, but guys, if you see Doug, thank him once again for sharing his lovely poems. I do love his dogs, to be fair. Soon there'll be like 5 or 6 in one spot doing those ones, and it's going to drive us absolutely insane.
Right, should we go from one dog to another? Oh, sorry, 2 dogs to 1 dog.
Oh yes, 2 dogs to 1 dog.
I'll let you read this one. This one's yours, so I'll let you read it.
Oh, okay. So it's from the Good News Network. This one is. So the headline is: "Cute dog walking around golf course has collected 6,000 lost golf balls, which are donated to charities." So a nice. We always love our animal stories, don't we, Lee? So an eagle-eyed pooch has become an expert in finding lost golf balls in London. So much so that he's helping provide golf charities with the balls they need to teach kids around the world. Charles Jefferson must have felt he hit a hole in one when one day his dog Cavapoo named Marlowe emerged from the bushes with a pristine tour grade ball on the puppy's first visit to the local London golf course. Jefferson, a top-level amateur golfer for 4 decades who used to work with the European Tour, realised that a retrieved mint-condition Titleist Pro V1 retails for around £3.50, and that his Marlowe might have a unique ability for finding lost balls. He spent the next 6 years walking up and down courses with Marlowe, watching and chatting and getting out in the open air. Between Michelin Golf Club and Wimbledon Common Golf Club, Mr. Jefferson and Marlowe filled dressers' drawers with golf balls, but rather than a single instance of selling around 600 to a mate, he never had any interest with the revival market, a cottage industry that cropped up around recovering golf balls. As an advertisement and a branding agent, Jefferson leaped at the chance to turn Marlowe's abilities into a force for good after he heard of a donation drive to promote the prevention of litter from lost golf balls. The DW World Tour was seeing if they could fill a 20-foot-long shipping container with second-hand tour golf balls with the intention of then sending them to Kenya's Junior Golf Foundation, the South African Disabled Golf Association, the European Disabled Golf Association, the UAE, Chicks with Sticks, and India's Golf Foundation. Sure about that last one.
Chicks with Sticks.
That's what it says.
God, UAE's Chicks with Sticks. Bloody hell.
CNN estimated that 300 million golf balls get lost every year, and UAE DP World Tour hopes to encourage shooters to recover at least a tiny fraction of these for charity. This is really cool. I like this. So the fact that this guy could have used, could have just made the money for himself pretty much from it, and instead using the health of his dog, just
sorry,
getting those getting those balls, sent to charities to help encourage young people into golf. Anything that gets them away from crime, drugs, violence, all that kind of stuff, and getting them into sport is always a great thing. And long may it continue, obviously. So
yeah, just in the chat, Conservative says, I highly doubt the pristine bit after Marlowe has set his teeth into a golf ball.
I'm pretty sure he's going to need might need some dental work, that dog. Bless him.
Yeah. Also says, Theresa Coffey has denied manhandling Tory MPs. Oh, God.
That is not a very good...
Ken just says, all shots, what a fibber. I'm sure there are a few faces she has sat on. Oh, jeez.
Oh, dear.
And Kendras, is this a dog special today?
I do like dog stories, yes, but I also like cat stories as well. I do live with 2 cats, by the way, guys. Just so you go.
Just going back to politics. Well, this is a funny one. So just give this have a quick look at this. So
okay.
I say that just fell for a second because I'm gonna find it. It's disappeared.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I got it. Right. Ready?
Okay. All right, come on in. Let's see it.
The Shadow Minister is with me. Shadow Minister, the Conservatives are planning to take every free school meal from every eligible child, throw it in the River Thames, then concrete over the river to build a new high-speed rail route.
It's a callous act. It's truly barbaric. This is a new low for this government.
We are hearing a lot of criticism from you on the government, but not many plans of your own. Your party does seem to be quite low on detail.
Well, our plan is simply not to do that.
Right, and how are you going to cost that?
I'm sorry?
Well, quite simply, how are you going to pay for not taking away children's food and throwing it in a river?
Well, we'd let the children eat.
Right, more unabashed spending, your critics might say. Where is this money coming from? What are you cutting?
We'd cut the bit where you concrete over a major river.
Right, and at a stroke, cutting thousands of jobs and diminishing the rail routes in the process there. No answer from the Shadow Minister, very revealing. Next up, the Secretary of State in charge of concreting over the river is wearing a hard hat, and I must say, it does look rather sexy. Secretary of State, one word, foie.
So that's the exploding heads are really funny. Every Labour interview. Is that what it's called? Every media interview with a Labour politician, yeah. So I saw that somebody put a post about because he says what is it with the British politicians and Playmobil cosplay? It's like they always have like the high vis jacket, the hard hat, and they go and stand near like a JCB or something. Yeah.
Yeah. They've got to look big, strong,
like doing something.
They've got to look British, as they say.
It's just let's go and sit in a tank. Let's go and
sit in a tank or pose or like Liz Truss posed in Russia or something at one time with that hat, I think, or something.
Yeah.
So it's a very important thing. But yeah, he's it is a funny video, but he's also absolutely right. Labour, they don't have to give really anything away because it's been handed to them, But but people would like to see the details, obviously. But I mean,
well, I think the point I'm making there is that the media will literally criticise whatever Labour say.
Yeah.
They'll put critique it and slam it, and then just be like, oh look, Prime Minister, aren't you looking wonderful today?
We Labour Party, we're going to give free school meals. That's an outrage.
How much is that going to cost? Have you costed it? Yeah. Jeez. Yeah.
Seriously.
Can we just do? Go on then. We'll do this one. So, just in the text, and also says that GB News. It's just every news at the moment. Pump says, did you all hear the clip of Krishna Guru Murphy calling Steve Baker honest word? No, I haven't seen that.
Steve Baker is no longer a hard man, guys. You have to remember that he's a
not
soft
Brexit.
Man now.
Brexit hard man
he's
and
a
Steve
soft
Baker.
Man because he's gotten soft. So that means he's angling for something, guys. Remember, he's no longer a hard man, soft man, Steve Baker.
just thinking about like this, like MPs changing sort of, or ministers going from like one position to another. What did you think of A, Jacob Rees-Mogg writing in The Guardian, and B, talking about green energy and how positive it was and how we need to move away from fossil fuels? It was just, I was reading it, I'm like, he's up to something there. I don't know what it is, but
they're all splitting off in different directions. That's the problem. And
unless he's invested loads of money into it, I think, into green energy. He's seen the writing on the wall and thought we can go for that, making loads of money on that.
There's a windfall tax on green energy companies, believe it or not, coming, which is you tell me what that makes sense here, chat, because I don't get that.
No, I can kind of understand it in a way, because green energy is, if it's costless, then you still get paid the same market price, the wholesale price. Whereas if you're so you get that amount of profit, but if you're doing fossil fuel, it's probably going to get that amount of profit. So there's more money to be taken from there, but it basically we're effectively subsidising fossil fuels in doing that. So yeah, Kendra says, talking about Labour, great joke from Starmer in PMQs today. I can't remember what that was. I did watch PMQs, but
I have not had a chance to catch up with PMQs. I will catch you up either tonight or tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we were going to show it, but we didn't. We wouldn't be able to laugh again. So
yeah, we don't want that. But I mean, we would have covered PMQs, like obviously coverage of not videos, but what was said and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah, I think it would. This Suella Braverman thing is kind of throwing everything up in the air.
Far bigger, and obviously the fracking vote obviously was a big deal as well.
Yeah. Number three says they're trying to save themselves. They know that the game is up. Conservatives.
They know the game is up. Yep, absolutely. Number three, they know that for sure.
Out by Christmas, is that the title of the book? Says Conservator. I think we've got something about that after.
Right, should we go off? Should we go with the funny story next?
Yeah, go on then. Let's have a look at this one then.
Okay, so this one's from the Mirror. So we always like a nice funny story. So this the headline is: Fuming man glues expensive filed note to car after driver blocks his garage. The furious homeowner blasts this driver for parking outside his garage, and to make sure his feelings were known with a note, he glued it to the car windscreen.
Did he use super glue? I've always thought about doing that. Super glue the note to somebody's window.
Trust me, guys, you will laugh. Okay, so a furious homeowner has enacted revenge against a driver who blocked his garage by gluing a note to his car. The expletive I'm losing my words.
Expletive
field letter was posted to the car's windscreen, according to a post shared to Reddit. Spotted by a neighbour, a resident snapped a photo of the handwritten message before sharing it online. Driver parking out. This is what the note says. So, driver parked outside a neighbour's garage, so they can't get out. He posted on their windscreen, justified. Beside the post, should I add, he glued it on. Noted a comment left by the post author.
Has he got a picture on there?
Yep. Yep. So the swearing notes reads: "You are an effing." You know the next word. You are an effing bar. And then
there you go. There you can see it. There you go.
Yeah, you guys know. I think I know. You guys know where it's going. You will not find peace as long as you park here. I have warned you.
I think it says flipping bugger. I think that's what it says.
Oh no. I think it's the other word. Effing B. You guys can guess the other one. Anyway, in response, hundreds of commentators weighed in on the matter, with many arguing that the homeowner had taken things too far, even if they could understand his frustration. While several people thought his response was justified, with someone commenting, "Brilliant!" Others thought the garage owner was wronged for using glue. Note is acceptable, assuming he uses the garage to park his car, but gluing it on isn't, read one such comment, and someone else agreed, gluing it on is just not justified. Another different commentator also pointed out, it's possible criminal damage with evidence as to who did it written directly into it. Nonetheless, many people could understand the homeowner's frustration. So yeah, you are an effing and an idiot. So
yeah.
Lee, do you plan on using glue the next time someone parks in your garage?
Super glue. Got to use super glue. epoxy resin or something like that. None of this Yoo-hoo or any Pritt stick or anything like that. No post-it notes.
The real stuff, yeah.
Yeah, the stuff that's going to need some special. What's it to get rid of it? Some special liquid. But yeah, someone said, "What if there's an emergency and they have to go to the hospital and hurry? What if they need to pick somebody up and can't get out of the garage? You'd have to be a moron to park like that." We're near a school. We have a school at the bottom of the street, and there's the houses right facing the school, and people literally block them in every day. It's constant. But it must be so annoying for those people because they're just trying to get to work, and literally people just parked in front of them. Yeah, but you're not supposed. I think it's still illegal if it's
leave even more earlier just to avoid the cars coming in for the school run.
This is it. Yeah, this is what. Well, but I mean, the thing is, it's supposed to be. I think it's illegal to park on a drop curb, isn't it, outside somebody's house? So if it's a drop curb, like the curb drops, so you can drive the car onto and off it. You're not supposed to park in front of a drop curb. I don't know if it's legal. I'm sure it's part of the highway code. But yeah, horrendous.
Because Evzo said he would use glue, so we know what side he's on. Yeah, it is frustrating because it's your own garage, and it's like, is there a line of going too far? Every case is different, I suppose, but obviously, if there's an emergency here, someone pointed out, that could be a different argument. But
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have done it if he is consistently. Obviously, in the story, it doesn't say how often he parks there in front of that person's garage. But if he was consistently doing it, there's more of a justification for doing something like that, because you're basically saying, look, you keep parking in my garage, you're not asking permission, you're doing it without my consent, and all this kind of, and I'm basically sending a message. That's basically what he's doing. So there's 2 fors and against for it.
Number 3 says, was the 4-letter word Tory by any chance?
It was not Tory by any chance, but good guess.
Kevin just says, if someone blocked me in every day, I would use thick black tar.
Oh!
Yeah, but then you got to go, well, you got to stick it on. Just on the windscreen, black tar.
I should see. Just get the brush and just on the front of the screen.
Not the first time, but after 1 or 2. I used to live in this little quaint village in Northamptonshire, and it was like the house next door to me was a church. And on a Sunday, there was no pavement. It was like little country village. And I had the drive off from the house where I lived, literally went straight onto the road. And on a Sunday morning, literally they just parked all along it, right, blocking the drive, everything. It's horrendous. But it was so tempted to go into the church and just like go, hey, he's parked right in the middle of the sermon. But yeah.
I do. Lee, do you have the Nigel story up or not? Or are we going to leave that
Nigel?
one?
I didn't put the Nigel one. I thought I got the video.
Can you put that one up, Jeff? I know we're going to go a bit over 10 o'clock, but I think it's because we were a few minutes late. I think this one's a bit hilarious because everyone knows.
Let me find the link to it because I've
while Lee just brings it up, I'll just tell you guys. There's this story I came across. This absolutely crazy one. So everyone knows one certain Nigel, but how would you guys feel about knowing about 372 Nigels in one spot? There's a story about 372 of them in one spot. Hopefully Lee can find it and put it up for you guys.
I'm just trying to find it now. There was that fuming man note, that one. Yeah. So where's that one gone there?
It was the Metro one, if that helps.
Yeah, I've got it. I'm just trying to find... Get it on the
I've
screen.
lost myself on the live stream there, as you guys can see.
Sorry.
It's all right, guys. Professional work here from
GB News. There we go. You're back.
Professional GB News guys.
GB News moment.
Give Lee. Yep, GB News moment. Don't worry, always better than GB News.
Right. Okay. I think it's on there. So just let me bring it back so I can see it.
Give us 1 second, guys, because
sorry, the whole Suella Braverman thing threw us tonight. So
yeah,
right.
Just while
Lee
puts that up, I'll just cover a little bit. So it's basically about the name Nigel, which is facing mass extinction, which has absolutely nothing to do with Nigel Farage whatsoever. But we can make that assumption anyway because it's Nigel Farage. The headline reads as I don't know if Lee's found it yet, but as the headline reads,
I've got it. It's on screen.
Okay. Gathering of 372 Nigels eases fear of mass Nige extinction. As you can see, a great picture of all the Nigers there. Nigels from across the world have gathered at a Worcestershire pub to celebrate their shaved Nigelness. Pub landlord Nigel Smith, who runs the Fleece Inn, has made his life goal to boost the popularity of his name. In doing so, he created the dedicated Nige Fest, which attracts hundreds to toast all things Nigel. Mr. Smith
what are all things Nigel? Just people called Nigel.
Mr. Smith came up with the idea after realising his name and became officially extinct along the new birth of, according to the new birth records of 2016 and 2020. I wonder why. Last night's Nige Fest brought hundreds of Nigels from all over the world for a pint. In keeping with the theme, the entertainment was provided by musicals called Nigel, and attendees bought photo IDs and signed the Book of Nigel kept at the pub. The festival broke the world record for the largest gathering of Nigels. Of 432 joined them for a pint in 2019. It was hoped that the record could be broken again last night, but a slightly more humble grand total of 372 passed through the Fleece Inn.
Is that a day now?
Must be. Yeah, the
no
numbers
new
are
Nigels.
dwindling. Just a bit more. So the oldest Nigel in attendance was an 84-year-old who came from America for the event. The youngest Nigel was in his 30s. Ooh, didn't get anyone younger.
That's a bit worrying. Yeah, a bit worrying for Nigels.
Others travelled from Los Angeles, Florida, Texas,
Nicaragua.
Yeah, thank you. Zimbabwe and Spain. The second ever Nigel night raised more than £3,000 for the British Heart Foundation.
Oh, that's good.
That is a very good, nice thing. Mr. Smith plans to host it again in 2025. I cannot see
Nigel Farage.
Yeah, I can't see him there. Maybe because the Nigels don't approve of him. Maybe he is unconfirmed the reason for the Nigel.
I don't know. That looks a bit gammony. That Nigel there on the right. Sorry, I shouldn't cast aspersions on the guy. He's champion Nigel. Oh, eldest Nigel.
I just saw the story and I just thought, this is absolutely hilarious. I mean, we are speculating that it's because of Nigel Farage that the name is being extinct.
I just think it's just a name that they put names going out of fashion, don't they? So I don't think it necessarily.
Yeah, sure. It's the Nigel thing. You wouldn't understand. Great shirt. Oh.
The eldest Nigel is granted an award for impressive feat. What have been the eldest Nigel?
Fantastic stuff.
Yeah. Well, they all looked like they had a great time anyway. Youngest Nigel.
They did. And they raised money for the British Heart Foundation.
Yeah,
so, it was a good thing as well, as we could all joke about it. But I think the name Liz might be joining Nigel. No, okay, no. We will not have we will not have great news in the background, someone says. He's right. He's in the background.
The guy there. I got him lost it now.
A lot of them do have similar hats to Mr. Hughes himself. So, to be fair, Lee, before we wrap things up, obviously we got one more little video to show you guys before we on our way, and then we head over to the Discord server. We just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's come along watched the stream with us, and thank you again for your patience with the technical difficulties. Remember, we always get better production of GB News.
GB News moments. Yeah.
Yes, those GB News moments. Guys, if you can, before you head out, click the like button. It really does support the channel. Also, you can hit the share button to share it across other social media platforms to get our name, get the show out there, obviously, of course. And finally, there's the little bell notification icon as well. If you turn that on, obviously you'll be notified as soon as we go live. But we always, at the moment, for the time being, it's every Wednesday, 9 p.m. UK time. So thank you guys, obviously, so much for joining us.
Yep. If you press the button, you said that, I wasn't listening. I'm sorry. I was reading the chat.
Lee's just switched off, as you guys can tell. Totally on the ball, as he is.
Did you mention the like button?
Did I mention the like button? Guys, did you know there's a like button?
Yeah,
it really helps the channel. But before you guys run off, we've got one more little video to show you guys.
Can we just go through the chat quickly, because there's quite a bit of chat we missed out there.
But just want to say, for those who are here, like number 3, Conservator Pumps, All Shorts, Daily Blase, Ben Shaw's,
Kendra, number 3, Pumps,
number 3. Guys, if you ain't part of the Discord server, the link is in our channel. You just click the link there, and it takes you straight to our community. Yes, we do need hats. You're absolutely right. We need hats.
Well, Scott Stogg was on before. But he had early bed, early start tomorrow. He said. So yeah, I did see his video. So just yeah, just a
why do you only have 18 subs? I mean, seriously, promote. Yeah, well,
trying. We were supposed to have a special guest tonight, but he was ill. So Van Man Talks is supposed to be on.
Yeah, so Van Man Talks, who does political stuff while driving a van, was supposed to join us, but unfortunately, due to being under the weather, he couldn't join us for tonight. But that doesn't say that maybe, but he is keen to still join us for a show. So at some point, we can hopefully have one with him. Who knows? Maybe we'll even have All Shorts joining us for a show, maybe in the future, maybe even Daily Blase, if we could work something out there with them. Who knows? We're always welcome to having guests on for the show if we can arrange a suitable time and date for them. So no, who knows? So we are not asking Andre Walker. No, don't be silly.
He brings these purple curtains.
Yes, yeah.
So Pump says, yeah, but we've got headsets. Yeah, we have got headsets. So come on.
Yeah, but I could just do that. I could just do that. So
Context says, good evening, everyone. You're a bit late, Context. We're about to finish. You can watch the Mad Monk. Hi, guys and girls. And Mad Monk, everybody joins us. We'll finish him. What's going on? I think Mad Monk usually does a chat with his brother.
It's all right, guys. You come back and rewatch the
you can rewatch
anyway.
it. Yeah,
so we covered a lot of the good stuff. Obviously, if you guys missed it, so don't you worry. We covered all the news for the big news from tonight. Obviously.
Yeah, don't worry. I haven't missed anything. Nothing.
Yeah.
Quiet week again.
Yes, it has been a quiet week. So obviously, just before Lee, anything else to add?
I'm getting mixed up with Jeff Taylor. Sorry, I'm not sure who Andre is, but yeah. So good point. Thanks, Kendra. No, I think that's it.
Be on the Discord. We will be on the Discord after dark on the server as well, guys. If you, we will be there as soon as we wrap things up here, obviously.
So this one is. So we'll play out with this video from one of my favourites, Larry and Paul, who do a stream tomorrow at 9. So if you're definitely on tomorrow. What are you doing with your headphones there? I just noticed you had your headphones down over your eyes.
Yeah. Well, I figured out how to put the hat on. There's all sorts of things. So if I do it like that, pull it down, then I can put the hat on, can't I?
Oh, yeah. Okay, smart. You're smart, you. Right. So Larry and Paul do a stream 9 o'clock tomorrow. But they also do a real daily briefing, and this is their real daily briefing from today. Unfortunately, it's before all the other stuff kicked off, so slightly out of date already. But it's hard to keep up these days. So have a good week. Watch these guys tomorrow if you can, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
I'll see you guys next week. Thanks again. Links in the description, guys. Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
A motionless greeting. Announcing the Prime Minister was supposed to be here, but her grandma's cousin's sister's pet dog's brother has sadly passed. Condolence, cheeks. First and foremost, clarifying, we absolutely cannot commit to keeping the triple lock on pensions. Slyly putting a finger to ear, hoping you don't notice. Checking advice from room next door. But that we cannot commit to a non-committal commitment of keeping the triple lock on pensions. Just not the triple lock or the pensions. Very clear. Panic thumbs. Wholeheartedly refuting claims that the Chancellor of the Exchequer is in fact running the country, claiming that would suggest that someone is running the country. Rick just grin. Someone is running the country. Taking question from establishment journalist.
Wondering if you'll guarantee a reasonable rise in the carers allowance?
Oh, checking notes. Being told to answer every question with the phrase militant trade unions and something about trains?
totally accepting that answer, then making a pre-prepared gag, laughter, regarding a book about Liz Truss, laughter. Being out before Christmas.
Delighted that none of you lot are taking any of this as seriously as you should be.
Run the piece on how people can survive on just porridge.
Nobly and honourably admitting that mistakes have been made, but wondering just what the leader of the opposition will do about that. Exasperated headshake. Insisting that the PM has only been, air quotes, in charge 2 weeks, and the country shouldn't expect someone so new in a job to avoid classic rookie errors, such as crashing the economy, fucking up your mortgage, and making the Conservatives as popular as a prolapse. Liz Truss nod. Hurried thank you.
Bye.
Bye.